The story of Ruth, a tale of loyalty and kindness. Once, in a land called Moab, lived a woman named Naomi with her two sons. Her sons married two kind women from Moab, one named Orpah and the other named Ruth. But one day, a great sadness fell upon their home. Naomi's husband and both of her sons passed away. Naomi said sadly, "My dear daughters, I am going back to my home in Bethlehem. You should return to your own families. May God be kind to you, as you have been to me and my sons." Naomi hugged Orpah and Ruth, and they all cried together. Orpah kissed Naomi goodbye and started to walk back to her home, but Ruth held on to Naomi tightly. Naomi gently told Ruth, "Ruth, you should go too. Go with your sister-in-law." Ruth replied determinedly, "No, Naomi, don't ask me to leave you. Where you go, I will go. Where you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." Naomi saw that Ruth's heart was full of love and loyalty. So, they continued on their journey to Bethlehem together. When Naomi and Ruth arrived in Bethlehem, they were very poor. It was the time of the barley harvest. Ruth said with determination, "Naomi, I will go to the fields and pick up any leftover grain that the harvesters have dropped. That way, we will have food to eat." So Ruth went to a field that belonged to a kind and wealthy man named Boaz. Boaz was a relative of Naomi's husband. Ruth worked very hard, gathering the leftover grain. Boaz came to his field and saw Ruth working. He asked his workers who she was. They told him that she was the woman from Moab who had come back with Naomi. Boaz said kindly, "Let her gather grain even among the bundles, and be sure to drop some extra grain for her on purpose." Boaz went to Ruth and said gratefully, "I have heard of all the kindness you have shown to Naomi. May the Lord bless you for it. Please, stay in my fields to gather grain. I have told my workers to be kind to you and to make sure you have water to drink." Ruth was so thankful. She bowed down and thanked Boaz for his great kindness. She worked in his fields until the end of the harvest. Naomi was so happy to see how kind Boaz was to Ruth. She knew that Boaz was a good man and a close relative who could take care of them. Naomi gave Ruth some special instructions. Ruth listened to Naomi and did as she was told. She went to Boaz and in a very polite way let him know that he had the right to be their family's protector. Boaz was very happy. He promised to take care of Ruth and Naomi. Boaz was a man who kept his promises. He went to the town leaders and made arrangements to marry Ruth and buy back Naomi's family land. And so, Boaz and Ruth were married. They had a baby boy named Obed. Everyone celebrated. Naomi was filled with joy and helped take care of her new grandson. Naomi joyfully said, "My heart is full. God has been so good to me. He brought me back from sadness and has given me a loving daughter in Ruth and a beautiful grandson." Ruth, the loyal and kind woman from Moab, became the great-grandmother of a very famous king, King David. And from their family, many generations later, Jesus, our Savior, was born. This story teaches us about loyalty, kindness, and how God can turn sad times into happy ones in the most unexpected ways.